سلام بچه‌ها، من دایری هستم. به چنل من خیلی خوش اومدید. بریم که داشته باشیم معرفی سیزن جدید رو که تازه معرفی شده و یه سری تریلر دادن بیرون، توضیحات دادن. با حاج میثم عقلمندی قرار بریم این داستان رو با هم دیگه ببینیم که چی به چی هستش، براتون تحلیل کنیم و عدس ندید دیگه ویدیو رو. لیتس گو. ساب، لایک، کامنت یادتون نره. برو بریم. خب چطوری حاج میثم؟
شاکرم داشالی.
بریم
لزبو
بریم ببینیم که تر جدید یوبیسافت در رینبو 6 چیه. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Operation Commanding Force. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and there is no better way to kick off the first season of Rainbow Siege than to be here with all of you. Whether you're here watching the best teams in the world compete in the 6th Invitational, or at home excited to learn what's next, this is the place to be. In Operation Commanding Force, all eyes are on Viper Strike, the squad led by Cabana, who will be welcoming a new operator this season. To tell us more, please welcome Creative Director Alexander Karpazis.
حاجی این یارو تو کشون من نمیره حقیقتا. حاجی همین یارو من تر میزنه هر سیزن.
You're a season 1 commanding force.
یعنی الان کارگردان رینبو اینه نه؟
Our saboteur from Brazil. She'll be joining Viper Strike, led by Cabana, and is made up of the experts who have every tool at their disposal to get the job done. They're essentially the elite Swiss Army knives who can jump into any operation and execute at the highest possible level. This squad is also being joined by Red Hammer, which was introduced earlier, being led by Viper. This is the squad of force and destruction, and with Viper Strike and Red Hammer joining the fold, we've introduced all of our squads that are making up Rainbow Six today. On top of this, we have a lot of exciting stuff to share. We've got balancing changes that reinforce the tacticality of our game, the gameplay that you can expect. We are constantly reinforcing the game with anti-cheat, and you'll see even more player protection coming down the line. And finally, newcomer rewards means newcomers jumping into Siege for the first time experience the vocabulary of the game and get rewarded for it. Rewards. All of this and more, our team's been working very hard and they're excited to share with you everything.
The Viper Strike faction is stepping onto the stage with Brava, a new Brazilian attacker who pilots the Clutch drone, a dastardly device capable of hacking defender electronics and either destroying them from a distance or changing their allegiance entirely. Imagine a defender triggering a Capcan trap, or being slowed by Malusi's device. Imagine an attacker causing chaos with an on-site Maestro turret in a post-planned situation. This is the world that Brava is bringing to you, and it's coming soon.
Defenders will need to be on the lookout this season as Brava and her gadget seek to give them a taste of their own medicine. We're going to dive into the design of Brava with concept artist Sunshine Kim, then get the details of what makes Brava's drone unique from director of gameplay design Jeremy Carval and game designer Matthew Lacombe.
تو رو جان بچه‌تونه الان میخوان چیز کنن دو تا از کانسپت این الان این مثلا طراحی میکنه شخصیت‌های چیزو حاجی چقدر دارن جدی چقدر دارن زن میدن تو بازی دقت کردی؟ اصلا تا آخرین بار مردم کی بوده؟
آخرین بار زیرو
آره دیگه
اون یکی چیه درو میندازه
اونم گیگه داشت
اونم گیگه دیگه آخرش اوستا بوده چیز بوده بگو چیز زیرو اونم کاراکتری گیمی دیگه از کلا
But instead of approaching usual traditional way with heavy gear setup and multiple layers, we simplified it. Having that minimalistic gear setup but still looking professional and combat ready was the main challenge.
When we started to work on Brava's device, we were looking for technology that could disrupt electronics in a distance. So we dig into the fantasy of anti-drone rifles. These rifles are powerful weapons that the connection and the control of drones. So we wanted to make our own version.
مثلا کاویرا رو نگاه چجوریه گیم پلی یا مثلا کاپیتان فانه
and we put this turret on top of these four-wheeled drones to create this little tank.
این یارو جدید رو درست میکنه اون یارو هم شخصیت
درست
میکنه.
This dedicated interface with a ton of little elements that will be used as important feedbacks.
ده انگار شب تانگه.
And finally, we designed this new overlay that will show on different occasions when a hack is performed.
Brava's gadget is the clutch drone. It's a new observation tool that we are bringing to the attacking team. It's an observation tool that focuses on stealing and overeating defender gadgets.
اوه میتره کنه وقتی مال خودت چه.
آره گفتم که
You can move around, drive with it, and you can also shoot. When you shoot at a electronic device, you can steal them from the defender team.
بعد چند تا چیز داره. بی‌نهایت یو علی. بی‌نهایت میثم.
Steal the yokai drones, all of those defender gadgets that you can turn against them. So obviously there's a lot of possibilities and it's sky's the limit.
خیلی خوبه.
It's a safe way to explore new maps, get to know interactions between some gadgets. It's an observation tool. You gather knowledge, you gather intel. It's always going to be good.
تازه میپره.
Brava brings two primary weapons. We have the Para 308 and the Cam RS. We have the assault rifle. It's high damage, low rate of fire, but you know how it works. We have the amount as the other option. Line of sight, more destruction. This is the one you want. For the secondary weapons, we have the Super Shorty and the USB-40. You know the deal. We have a secondary shotgun for utility. We can create some rounds. We can slip by the defenses with this. Or you have the USB-40, which is a reliable pistol. If you want to move fast, you want to catch up to your team, that's the one you want to use. For generic gadgets, we have the claymores and the smoke grenades. The claymore, obviously, you're going to spend a lot of time hunting down defender utilities, but we want to make sure that you're safe. So you will be able to use the claymore for this one, or we have the smoke grenade. The smoke grenade is the one that creates a lot of noise, that draws a lot of attention. This means that you can steal something. Like, that's a window of opportunity.
حتی باید چیز کنی نه مثلا بعد روش نگه داری درسته؟
It's mostly
نه بچه نگه میداره روش.
to catch up to your team. You're going to spend a lot of time on your clutch drone.
شاید داره هک میکنه نگو
Always relevant during the round, so we give you the best speed that we have. The first synergy that we can see is
اینجوری خیلی سوپره.
نگو electronic devices and turns out that Brava can and steal those. So you want high key
نگو ول میشه.
and Brava to execute on them.
ول نمیشه.
And one of the things that we really like is tag teams. And here we are proposing Brava and IQ.
نشون بده.
راست میگه
The operator that have access to the generic EMP grenade can allow the clutch to move forward if there's a pest or a mute jammer in the doorway.
با این کمبوه.
If you disable a gadget and you try to convert it, it will still work. Some of our maps have these critical important walls to open.
میاد میگه بیا مال ما.
Because there's electricity or mute jammers on those walls.
بیا دیدی ما.
You can send the clutch drone to shoot those gadgets and remove them, but there's also creative ways of doing it. You can steal a Maestro, use the Maestro to deny those devices. That's the kind of thing that you will learn about Brava, and that's why. So this is a great way to counter Brava. Either you can spot Brava when she's running,
Solis,
and you can spot the clutch drone coming in to steal your gadgets.
Solis counterش
is an interesting counter here. We have a two-way relationship.
مازی میتونه بگیره؟
And do all of the crazy
آره مازی میگیره مال خودشون میکنه.
بعد اونم میتونه هک کنه؟
آره اونم هک کنه.
وضعیت
There's a lot of possibility here. So it's really a counter and counter synergy.
Yo Ali.
The clutch drone is an observation tool. It navigates.
میدونی میثم.
The way that we know to counter this is good old means place jammers. You passively deny the entry to the on-site. You just have to be careful and place them in ways that she can't shoot them. The clutch drone can steal the jammer and then
این حرکتایی که داره میزنه با مازی خیلی خوبه فهمیدی؟ یعنی مثلا قشنگ میتونی بکنید توشون. شما میاریم ما هم داریم.
Will not be able to see vigil, which means that he can jump on your drone and destroy it.
خب ویژیلمش هم چیز میشه و نمیگیردش.
when they repick into this operator. When you notice that there's Capcan, Milusi, Aruni, Maestro, all of those brings high-value gadgets while you want to steal them. That's when experienced player will
نگاه کن چقدر سوپره.
Our next updates are focused on the team's ongoing efforts to ensure that Rainbow Six Siege is fair and balanced for all players. The use of mouse and keyboard on console is a disruptive problem, and this season we're putting a new solution in place to tackle this issue. Gameplay programming team lead Jan Stalaka is here to share the details.
آره
واسه کنسولیه.
تو چیز استفاده می‌کنن. آره آنتی چیت واسه موس کیبورده.
خب تبریک میگم به کنسولیا.
Where a lot of players are using these little widgets called input spoofing devices, and they allow you to play with a keyboard and mouse on console. Now, along with toxicity and cheating, this is one of the biggest complaints that we get.
And
we heard you. We agree. It feels really unfair to play against especially the competitive ones. And there hasn't really been a reliable solution for this yet. In fact, the devices they're using are specifically designed to be undetectable. We wanted to build our own system that would sniff out mouse and keyboard players on console. We call that system Mousetrap. We have been really quiet about it, but actually it's been running in the background in shadow mode for several seasons. We've been gathering data and analyzing the results, and now we have a much better picture. We know exactly which players are spoofing, when they're spoofing. We also know that at the highest ranks, spoofers become much more common. Biggest advantage. It would have been really easy for us just to ban all those players, but we want to try something a little different. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and remove the advantage that they get from using one of these input spoofing devices. Starting in Season 8, Year 1.2, when we detect you spoofing, we're going to start adding extra latency to your inputs. It's going to start out really for several matches, and it will definitely be noticeable.
to device it میگه دیلی بندازیم.
Disadvantage against mouse and keyboard players will be much reduced. To remove the penalty, simply unscrew the spoofing adapter and continue playing on controller. After a few matches, the latency will be reduced, and you'll be back to normal. We've worked really closely with our accessibility group here at Ubisoft to make sure that we take the needs of disabled players into account. We have designed disabled players with adaptive technology to access the game should not be affected by this penalty. However, if you're a disabled player and you feel like you've been unfairly penalized, there may be a QR code in the game that you can use to contact us. We will investigate, and maybe we can use your feedback to improve our system. So additionally, we will be updating our code of conduct for all players to say that using external devices to gain an advantage is not permitted. I want to mention that this is an experimental solution. Nobody in the industry has solved this problem yet. We are trying something new, but it's not the final iteration. We intend to keep monitoring the data, to update our detection system, and to continue to tune the penalties. It's an evolving situation. We are committed to continuing to work on it. Mousetrap will be coming.
In the same vein, Operation Commanding Force is continuing to bolster our anti-toxicity measures. To tell us more, here's Player Protection and Game Security Director Emmanuel Larive.
میثم تدنا کن این بخشش مخصوص من و توه. فهمیدی؟
let's go.
این بخش چی نمیشه آنتی تاکسیتی. فهمیدی؟ تو مخصوص من که وا می‌کنیم میگه مادر فاکر. ببین چه بلای قرار سرمون میاد.
I'm very glad to announce that we'll perform a new update toward the reputation penalty. This new update will be looking at everybody that is doing some disruption at the first chat level.
Make this game better.
It's really important because we're seeing a case of miscommunication. We want to reduce that. Players being detected by this new system will be muted by default to others. So the people that still want to hear them will be able to unmute them. The goal of this new initiative is to reduce the impact of the top offender on other players. We also want to reduce the case of misconduct and hateful message that you are facing. At the start, we will be only looking at the top offender, so a small population of players. They will be receiving a set of warnings, and when a penalty will be applied, it will last several matches. Later down the road, of course, we'll continue to monitor this system, but also to expand it to everybody.
In Siege, every decision counts. Starting this season, reloading will be more tactical than ever. Association Director Joshua Mills reveals details about the reload rework, and game designer Robert Cole has some news about a balancing update for Zero.
Begin good job, bro. Well played.
Motherfucker.
The issue with the current reload system in Siege is that that most players are if someone's reloading, they are non-lethal, and I have opportunity to push that fight. In the live build right now, if you initiate a reload action, you can cancel it at any time. What that means is the magazine has been removed from the weapon, and somebody starts pushing you, and you cancel that animation, and the magazine pops back in the weapon.
چیز کردم همین animation اینجوری نبود.
Operation Commanding Force, you will no longer get the benefits of reload canceling. And what I mean by that is once the magazine has cleared the weapon, it will not magically pop back in the weapon if you cancel that animation. In fact, it'll drop and then you'll have no magazine in your weapon.
فهمیدی چی شد؟ نه مثل وارزون این میگه اگه خشابو در بیاری یه تیه گوله بیشتر نداری فهمیدی؟ میگه اگه نذاری کامل خشاب وارد گانت بشه بعد کنسل کنی به گار سگ میری.
اگه تیرات کامل تموم شده باشه
نه تموم بشه نه تو وقتی میری تو ریلود خب وقتی که خشابو در بیاره دیگه یه تیر بیشتر نداری اگه کنسل کنی
همون یه تیری که چیز گرش مونده همون یه تیری
if needed. Ultimately, it realigns our players' expectations with the game reality. So players, when reloading, expect that they have an opportunity and an advantage in that situation. Right now, the game doesn't actually support that. This is one of those updates that is actually affecting our core mechanics of the game. It's an important thing to be very careful when we make those changes, but we know this is the direction we want to go in to bring Siege to be more tactical, more purposeful, and more strategic than ever before.
Zero is not in a bad spot right now, but it's true that his gadget can be a tricky one to use, as it's getting destroyed most of the time, mainly due to the sound it makes. We are changing the Argus camera so that it will no longer auto-deploy to the other side of the wall once being attached. Zero will now need to manually perform the perforation from inside the camera, and additionally, any teammates can swap either side of the camera but not perform the perforation. With these changes, we want the Argus camera to be much more powerful, as well as being much more collaborative and improve the gadget. We believe that these changes will make the gadget much more interesting.
دیگه میزنی به مسیر میزنی اون برای دیوار نیستش سمت خودته باید خودت عوضش کنی.
آره چیز میشه دیگه یک تیری کی میشه.
Big update to our attachment.
میتونی مثلا 4 تا بزنی روی دیوار بعد هر کدوم واسه یهو باز کنی.
Give you more options to play the way you want to and make the loadouts you want to use. Looking into the compensator and the muzzle brake is the same philosophy. We're just bringing those in line with some of the changes we started in year 7. For the muzzle brake, we're going from 45% up to 50%. For the compensator, we're making an adjustment from 15% to 35%. One great feature that was introduced in year 7 is
فهمیدی چی میگه؟ یکی چند تیر اولش قشنگ نقطه میزنه ولی خب دیگه به گاز سگ میشه.
Any update we do, we will be listening and monitoring the community feedback and continuing to find ways to empower you to being that elite operator.
You're going to notice some cool changes around the play section of the menu when Operation Commanding Force is in full force. And senior UX designer Cecilia Pasquale is here to give you a sneak peek.
وای چقدر هایپم
وای such a fucking wow.
We are introducing 3 categories that we
یا علی چه چشمش انقدر فاصله داره این
The categories are competitive, quick play and training.
چقدر فاصله داره جدی
dynamic button for each of those categories.
منو رو عوض کردن اینا
below the tile and it's going to allow our players to directly access their last played playlists inside that category. For those playlists, for example as Quick Match, that have different game modes to select to matchmake with, we're gonna add a settings button right below the tile. that allows our players to select the game modes directly from there instead of having to go through the global settings button. For the future, we
میگن اون درونه هستا درونه که چیز میگه اگه میس بدی شارژ میشه ولی در نهایت تو میتونی 3 تا رو بگیری 3 تا شارژ بیشتر نداره
فهمیدم
یه درونه با 3 تا شارژ آره اینطوری
کلا 3 تا داره ولی خب شارژ میشه اگه میس بدی
آره اگه میس بدی شارژ
نکته جالب but also we can't wait to hear your feedback about our latest improvements. This feature is directed to our PC players and it's an access point in the homepage of the game that notifies when a test server is available. Upon clicking on the button, the game session will be closed and the test server will be automatically started. For those players that still don't have the test server installed, they can access this button and directly download it, meanwhile still playing the game. The main goal of this feature is to give
این آپشن واسه من قفل میذارم
the availability of
وسط بازی دانلود کنین تست
by giving a faster access and more visibility of our test server, we hope that more players will be interested in downloading and testing our new features.
Last season, we rolled out the revamped Battle Pass to give you more control and flexibility over the new gear you unlock. Now, we're introducing a new spin on Bravo Packs aimed to give you even more choice when it comes to earning cosmetics. Business Strategy Director
چه بتل پاسی قرار بدن
break down just how this works.
بتل پاسش گاد بابا حرومزاده به چیز نمیده میثم نصف پولی که میخری نه گونم برنمیگردونه دیگه چیز عجیب غریبه به قرآن من ببین
نصفش هم نمیده
گوش کن من خب بیر پس خریدم خب کل سالو من پارسال خریدم فکر می‌کنی الان چقدر تو اکانتم کردیت دارم 1200
سیزن هم 100 کردی
1200
هر سیزن هم داری 100 می‌کنی
4 سیزن 1200 یعنی پشمات برید یعنی اگه من همین الان بخوام واسه سیزن بعد بخوام واسه سیزن بعدی دیگه ندارم
بعد بری 1200 بخری
This feature was actually really liked by our community. What we want to do this year is actually give you even more choice as to which reward you unlock from the Bravo Packs. So for the players that finish the 100 tiers of the Battle Pass, we're giving you what we call the Bravo Pack tickets. This will actually give you the opportunity to browse all of the rewards from the Bravo Packs and choose the one that you want to unlock. We launched the new Battle Pass last season. We've had a lot of feedback from the community around
میخوای بگیره
بگیره forward into the next seasons we're going to be focusing on improving the
experience جذابیت نداره که
so stay tuned for this
آره دیگه همه بلک آیسا رو میگیرن
The best moments in Siege are when a plan comes together.
پی شده دیگه
But for this to happen, everyone on the team
دیگه پک چه معنی داره خب
نه میگه 600 تا نمیده
ها
بچه‌ها میگن مگه چیزه میگم مگه 600 تا نمیده علی میگه نمیده دیگه
نه بابا نمیده 600 تا آقا اینو بهت بگم اینو ول کن میثم الان دارم بهت میگم که این شرط چه رو بردی الان اصلا پک معنی نداره بگو پوینت بدیم برو از شاپ خرید کن
همون خیلی کوسچر شده
پک بدیم برو مسخره بود چه
همون قشنگ به شانسش بود
همون دیگه
الان با پول شده
Don't worry. We
got
you.
Challenge
Our new beginner challenges will make it easier than ever to understand the strategies of Siege and will even earn you some nice rewards too. Associate Game Director Christopher Budget is here to explain it all.
600 تا بهمون برمیگردونی 600 تا میده علی منم میگم
مطمئنی؟
آره اینها دارن میگن
Siege is a highly tactical game
with a lot of چیز الیت مانتی امسال اومد درسته؟ من الیت مانتی رو خریدم فکر کنم برای همونه آره اصلا
depending on the operators, the maps and the interactions of the gadgets. We want to support new players on their Siege journey by adding the tools that allows them to learn how to play Siege and how to perform the best. Operation Commanding Force, we're introducing the beginner challenges. Beginner challenges are a new progression tool which allows new players to progress and learn about the different facets of Siege. They can do this by every match that they play. They're actually progressing these new challenges, which are created into groups that we like to call operator specialties. Operator specialties are a great way for our current players to teach their friends how to play Siege. For example, you could talk about Hibana as a breacher. And this is how we're going to group the beginner challenges. Every time a newcomer plays a match, they'll be progressing their beginner challenges. They'll be able to see which operator specialty they've been progressing, and as they do so, they'll unlock different rewards such as renown, boosters, or newcomer packs. Additionally, players can unlock operators of that specialty. So for example, if you're playing as a breach operator and doing well, you're progressing those challenges
چیزو یاد بگیری بهت چالنج‌های مختلف میده با اون اپراتور. اگه خوب بازش کنی، یعنی خوب چیزش کنی، چالنج انجام بدی، بهت ریوارد میده.
You'll be able to refer to that when playing with other players, such as, we already have a breacher, or can somebody bring an intel operator? This is a great way to introduce your friends to Siege, because now they'll be able to use the language of Siege to make the choices about which operator to play. All players will have access to beginner challenges. For new players, it will replace the Battle Pass tile on the home menu. Our current players will be able to find it in the play. By giving new players a progression tool that's been specifically designed for them,
کالا به 1000 تا من خریدم 1400 تا بهم برگردون.
اپکس هم همینه. داشت یارو داره زحمت بازی تو داره بازی میکنه، یکم پول داشته شونی به نفته.
تازه اون فریه، این پولیه بیشتره.
این پولیه.
And finally, you could play Operation Commanding Force on the season test server next week.
هفته بعد همیشه 7 چیز بوده، شب بعدش بوده.
Have fun exploring
میگه همیشه شب بعدش میومد تست سرور.
آره.
الان هفته بعد.
20 روز دیگه سیزن عوض میشه دیگه.
The fun is just getting started.
پدر سگ. تمام شد. شرورای اومده. خب این از تریلر اولی بود دیدیم. بریم واسه تریلر دوم. خب بریم واسه تریلر سینماتیک. آره دقیقاً واسه تریلر سینماتیک. این تریلر اولیه بود میثم.
آره.
یادته سال 2015. خب.
آره.
بریم.
نگاه کن. این موبایل شهری.
نه بابا موبایل هنه. سینماتیکشه دیگه.
I'm in control.
گوز نایت.
براو.
همین 47 ثانیه تریلر بود، 20 ثانیهش 10 ثانیه چیز بود، بقیه دارم تبلیغاتی ریدم دارن
میگم 15 ثانیه
همیشه بیتی کسکش
و همیشه بیتی این ناموس.
آقا دمتون گرم که دیدید. حاج میثم دمت گرم که بودی.
آقا ممنونم
خیلی مخلصتیم.
ان شاءالله که سیزن جدید بند نشیم، به همین امید.
آفرین. سیزن جدید بند بریم بهتر کنیم ستون
دیگه. سیزن بعد دیگه مؤدبیم داشت، تو اوج مؤدبیت میرینیم بهش.
بگیم نایس ترای مادر قبه. نایس
ترای بی‌ناموس. نایس ترای ویل پلی تروم زاده.
در سریز. خیلی خوب دمتون گرم بچه‌ها که دیدید. پرچم دنبالاست تا ویدیو بعد و حاج میثم دیگر. خدا نگهدار.
خدا نگهدار.